And here is the Webley Mark V brought back to life with parts we found at Tulsa in April of 2019. Hey everybody, Cycle Camp here. What we're going to be doing today is making another attempt at replacing the hand in the Webley Mark V. So here is, you can see the Mark V marking clearly at the top here. This has a shaved cylinder, so it was built for 455, and they shaved it down to make 45 auto, and you can tell that because there's no markings on the outside here. And if you look at the marks on the back of the cylinder, you can see that they are smaller than they ought to be. You know, they are not in real good shape. So we've tried like crazy to find another hand for this. If you pull it, you can see that the cylinder, while it's not horrible, it's not a very good lockup. So, and we suspect that the problem with this is the hand itself. So what we're going to do is try to replace the hand, which is this little bit, and we're going to see if we can make that hand work here. It's been incredibly difficult finding a hand. None of the regular outlets that I normally go to had it, but when I was in Tulsa the last time, I ran into a table where the gentleman at the table had a lot of Webleys on the table, and so I asked him if he possibly might have a hand for a Mark V, and he thought he did. So after the show, a week or so after the show, I sent him a letter telling him what I needed, and he sent back what we hope is the right part. Now, these do sometimes require some gunsmithing to set them up properly, so we're going to have to find out if that's going to be required this time, but we shall see. So we remove the, basically we remove the trigger guard, and then we are going to pull the trigger out. This is not the way, this is not the way the book says to do it, but having done it a couple times, I was pretty sure I could figure it out. So what am I missing? There's a piece that needs to come out. I have to figure out where that last piece is. It's going to come out of here. Of course, in my luck, I probably have to go back to the book and figure it out, but I don't think so. I'm pretty sure all I have to do is pull this spring out. So we'll take the spring out, and then we take this little bitty piece here. Also has to come out. That piece has to come out, and then there we go, now I can drop this out, and here we go. And then we'll take a look, and oh yes, this looks much more like what we were looking for. The other one was way too small. So we'll put that back together, put this back in here. This is a bit of a, you have to fart around with this a little bit to get this right. I misassembled this the first time, so we're going to zoom past this and pick it up a little bit later, just to cut a couple of minutes out of the video. Basically, there's 3 parts that go in here, and you have to get them all in the right place. And if you let one slip ahead of the other, then the mechanism jams and you can't do anything with it. So basically, that's what I'm doing now. Is I've got them in wrong and the mechanism is jammed. And we'll pick it up in just a second. This piece here, this is actually, well, it's one spring, it's actually two parts. The first part is the spring for the hammer, and that's this part with this little hook here. And then the second part pushes down on this, and that's the trigger spring. And I don't think I have it quite rightly set up, so I'm going to take it apart again and do it again. Or I could, it's also quite possible I don't have the, that didn't feel bad. Put that in again. I don't think I had the hand in properly. So let's take a look here. Because that's the other thing that this does, is push on the hand. Yep. So there's the hand coming up through, and that's part of what this does. Let's try again and see if we can get that hook in place. Not easy. Oops, missed it. Okay. That's what happened last time. I let this go too far forward. Okay. And a little bit of fiddling around to get that in there, but you know, that's to be expected. See, there's the part sticking out now that has the little T on it. This is the hardest part, is getting that hooked over. Okay. Again. Alright, that didn't look too bad. So let's try it again. Yeah, there's the hand coming up and the trigger, and you can see the firing pin coming out. You know, this connected to the hammer. Alright, let's close this again. Oh yeah, see, that's nice and tight now. That doesn't move at all. Look at that. Yeah, so that hand definitely was the issue. So let us put the trigger guard back on. Sorry this took so long. It's also kind of late at night, so I'm a little tired. But it's all part of the fun. And then we'll put this one back on. I did actually find ammunition for this. I didn't find it, my brother-in-law made it. I found some brass, and what we're going to use is 455 rimmed, I'm sorry, 45 auto rimmed instead of 45 auto ACP. And the 45 auto rimmed, oh yeah, will do the same job, and we've loaded it to the old spec for the 455. So because 45 auto, in spite of the fact that many of these guns were converted by importers to run with 45 auto. 45 auto is too much for the metal that's in this gun. It's too much. So we're definitely good to download that. So my brother-in-law was able to reload me some 45 rimmed. Oops. And that will hopefully be a little safer to shoot in this. So we'll just snug these up, not too tight because it's old. We'll snug this up a little bit. Yep. And of course you don't want to break the grips. So yeah, that's a nice tight lock up now. And that's just what we want. We want that hand pushing on that. You can't hardly even move it when that thing is. I've got the trigger pressed, and I can hear it going tick tick, but it's not moving very much. So great. So hopefully I'll be able to take this out to the range and shoot it. Very happy. Now that that worked, let's talk to you about where I got this stuff. So here's the gentleman. Here's the card from the gentleman that I found. The guy's name is Joe Davis, and he does Webleys and other guns. I'm actually looking to see if I can get parts for him for my Bodeo as well. And there's all his information. So if you have an older Webley and you're looking for parts, this is the guy to call, Joe Davis, out there in Kirkwood, Missouri. So thank you so much, Joe. Very happy. This has straightened the gun right out. I do have to do one other thing. I have to shine a light in back of it, pull the trigger, and make sure that even it's locked up, but I have to make sure that the timing is still, let me just, for fun, see if we can do that right now, see if the timing is still correct. So what you do is you shine a light in behind the barrel, yeah, and then you pull the trigger. Let's see if you can see it. I don't think you can see it. But let's try it again. Get a light in there. Yeah, okay, so you can see inside there, and you pull it. You can see the guy going by, and it looks to me pretty much like it's in line properly. Yeah. Yep, that looks good. So anyway, so that's it. We shall see what happens. And even if it's not perfectly well lined up, it is still, that would be, if it's not perfectly lined up, that would be because of these grooves and them not being in the correct place, or this this piece, right? But that looks okay. It doesn't look like it's flattened out or anything. So I think we're going to be all right. And like I said, it locks up nice and tight now, so I'm pretty happy with it. So Joe, thank you again. And now let's take it out to the range and see how it shoots. Hi there, Cycle Camp here. We're back at the range here in Windsor, Windsor Marksmen's Association, the club that I belong to. And today we're going to shoot some pistols. I've got one pistol that I've recently repaired and two others that I purchased this year that I'd like to try for the first time. Not going to put a lot of rounds down range, we're just checking the functionality and all that. So the first pistol we're going to shoot today is the Webley Mark V. Now, the Webley Mark V, it's a little less known than the 4 and the 6. It's an interstitial gun between World War I and World War II, but it did serve in both wars. Frequently, it is a top break, as you can see. Frequently, this firearm the cylinders on these were shaved so that they could take 45 auto with moon clips. Now, the people that did that were the importers. That was a real bad idea. You can usually tell if they're shaved if you look at the back of the cylinder. There'll be no markings on the back of the cylinder, and if you look on the sides, there is some information on the sides, and you'll notice that the lettering is like in half. You can't see the bottom of it. So what I did instead was I had my brother-in-law, I don't reload, my brother-in-law reloads. I had my brother-in-law make me some 45 auto rimmed, so I can use this like a regular rimmed cartridge. And I think that'll be more fun. Also, the case pressure of a 45 ACP is too much for this gun. You should not shoot 45 ACPs in this gun. And what we've done is we have recreated a mid-range loading of the 455 round that was originally supposed to be in here. So let's throw a couple rounds in here and see how it hits. I've never shot this gun before. This one had a bad hand and it would not lock up properly. So we're going to try that and see if this works. So this will be the first time that we've shot this firearm, and I am gonna shoot it single action, just so I can hopefully hit the target and not shoot my camera that's downrange. So let's take a look and see how this goes. Oh yeah, we nicked the black. Okay, good, very good. That's a very light trigger in double action. And it hits a little bit, I'm shooting it a little bit to the left and a little bit high. Of course, there are no adjustments on this. And that should be 6, that should be all of them. So let's dump them out. And of course, they all just fall right out. We'll put 6 more in here. With the top brake gun, as you rock it, the ejector throws all the shells out. But very nice. Jesus, shoots really sweet. It's a fairly light trigger. I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it single double action now. Man, that is a long pull. That was horrible. Yeah, this thing is a beast in double action. It's really tough getting it around there. But it's locking up great. I'm not getting anything, no leading or anything. And that's it. Okay, so again, we'll dump the dump it. You can see as it comes up, everything just kind of pops out. And that's it for the Webley. Cool. Well, this is Cycle Camp. I hope you really enjoyed seeing a great old gun brought back to life and a quick range video. Have a great day.